a spoiled automotive journalist, I drive a lot of fancy cars. The Kia Rio is not one of them.
The subcompact Rio isn't filled with dazzling features, doesn't inspire envy in strangers, and it's not a pioneer of automotive technology, but it is cheap transportation. Judged as such, how does the Rio stack up?
Much better than you'd think. To start, it drives surprisingly well. Moving at a brisk pace, vague on-center feel means frequent steering corrections at higher speeds. But at slower speeds or when cornering, the steering provides decent feedback and just the right amount of resistance. Sound effects included.
For a subcompact, ride quality is good, and the Rio's handling abilities are well within the scope of acceptability for all but the most obnoxiously scrutinizing drivers.
See, she totally pushes at the limit. The Rio's 1.6-liter engine produces more noise than acceleration, but around town it moves just fine, and I'm not filled with fear when merging on the freeway, which is good because I need my fear for things like killer bees and the 4th season of Fuller House.
Given its modest power, you might expect stellar fuel economy from the Rio. It is efficient, but not amazingly so, landing mid-pack among subcompacts. For perspective, the mid-size Toyota Camry L trim is actually more efficient than the Rio, according to the EPA. Strange, huh? Like most value-priced cars, the Kia Rio can be loud on the freeway, especially around the windshield region, but the noise is never overwhelming. Beyond that, the Rio's small size makes parking easy, the brakes deliver surprisingly good bite and feedback, the automatic transmission shifts competently, responding to throttle inputs without delay, and the driver enjoys clear sightlines in all directions. Focus your attention inward, and the hard plastic-clad cabin sports a simple, hip, pleasing design. Put another way, though inexpensive, the Rio doesn't visually torment you with its cheapness.
Up front, comparative spaciousness and a generally comfortable driving position make the Rio a more than agreeable commuter. Look at me, I'm commuting! Whoa! As you probably guessed, the rear seats are less welcoming. My head and knees barely clear, but they do clear. Thankfully, there's enough space under the front seat that my feet do not feel cramped, and the seat back is comfortably soft. As an average American male, I dubbed the Rio's rear quarters 100% inhabitable. Yay! We did it!
Okay, the middle spot is less inhabitable, and cramming 3 aboard is just a bad idea. But once more, for the price, this ain't half bad.
Oh, hey, boys.
Same deal with the trunk. For a subcompact, 13.7 cubic feet is good, but what's more impressive is how it's finished. Oftentimes, car makers will cheap out in this area, but the plastics and the materials all feel pretty good. Primo trunking.
For more serious cargo hauling, choose the Rio hatchback, which offers superior cargo volume and 0.6 inches more rear seat headroom for a $400 premium versus the sedan. For less than $15,000, including destination charges, a base Rio LX includes air conditioning, 6 airbags, a USB port, a long 10-year 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and a manual transmission. Budget an extra $1,100 if you'd like an automatic transmission on your LX. Or, better yet, move up from the base trim and the automatic transmission comes standard. Speaking of, choose the mid-level S trim or higher if you'd like 60/40 split rear seats on the sedan. Go hatchback, and folding seats are standard across the board. The roughly $17,000 S trim also ditches old-school cranks for properly civilized power windows and adds cruise control, Bluetooth, a backup camera, a second USB port, and a center console with a sliding armrest. At the peak of Rio Mountain sits the EX trim, with its 15-inch alloy wheels, tilt and telescoping steering wheel, rear disc brakes, automatic emergency braking, and excellent 7-inch touchscreen that replaces the base car's 5-inch audio display.
Once again, for a car this cheap, the Rio's Uvo 3 infotainment system works great. The available Apple CarPlay and Android Auto spring to life immediately when you connect your phone. The touchscreen is super responsive, and the menus are a cinch to navigate.
Spec a Rio EX sedan with leather accented seats, and the MSRP rings in a little less than $20,000. That's not a crazy sum, but even at maximum swankiness, the Rio still doesn't include power seats or an exterior trunk release. More critically, for just a few $100s more, you could buy a much roomier, more efficient, more sophisticated Honda Civic LX with a continuously variable transmission, adaptive cruise control, and lane keeping assist. Stick with the proper competitive set, and though pricier than the Rio, in base form, the Honda Fit is notably roomier and has better